I'm really good with faces. Really good. Don't remember names at all. And everybody here has had this happen to you before, I think, some more than others. You meet somebody, you introduce yourself, they introduce themselves, you talk for a few minutes, you say, okay, nice to meet you, leave. See them again a few days later, a week later, they will walk right up to you and they remember your name. And whenever somebody remembers your name, that makes you feel kind of special, but you're also horrified at the same time because yeah, you're just, hey buddy, how you doing? And you can't remember their name. If you could learn how to be really good at remembering names, this gives you an advantage in your personal life, in school, in business, lots of different areas, because most people are terrible with names. So if you get good at it, it gives you an advantage. Well, how do you remember somebody's name when you meet them? You actually have a lot of different ways to do that. There isn't just one. But the way that I want to show you involves this method. And if this, what I'm about to show you, if this seems really weird and stupid to you, then just remember, oh yeah, that's good. Okay, so here's the example I'm going to give you. We're going to do this with two names. Okay. You meet a lady with no hair. I'm not going to draw the hair on there, but you meet a lady at a party or a meeting or something and you want to remember her name. It's important to you. And so we're going to start out with the easiest name I know for this, and then we're going to get to a hard one. Okay, her name is Sandy Campbell. And so what you're supposed to do when you use this method is to look at her face, think of her first name, and come up with a picture that this reminds you of, and put the picture somewhere around her face in your mind. So when you hear Sandy, what's the first thing you think of? Yeah, most people think of sand, like at the beach. Is that the only right answer? No, it could be other things. It's your own personal way you think. But if you pictured her and you wanted to say, okay, I want to remember when I see her face next time, I want to remember her name is Sandy, what could you do? Well, here's example. Some people say, I picture sand all over her face, in her hair, and I just want to go up and start brushing it off. So a really weird picture, sand everywhere. Okay, that's one. Other people have said I would picture a big sand castle built right on top of her head, like she's wearing it like a hat. That's very bizarre too. Other people have said I would picture her buried in the sand all the way up to here, and the only thing sticking out is her face. As long as the face is right in the middle of all that, whatever you come up with, as long as you see it in a very clear way, you're going to remember it. Okay? Now, the last name is often very difficult for people to remember, maybe more than the first, and so a lot of times you have to divide the last name into parts and come up with pictures for those. But we shouldn't have to do that here, which is the reason that I start with this one. Campbell. Yeah, most people think of soup. Okay, so if you have done something with this poor lady's face in your mind, and you want to remember her last name is Campbell, what are you going to do? Well, I want to hear a couple of suggestions from you to see how weird your imagination is. Yeah, she could be eating soup, and we got to get more bizarre than that, right? So, what else could we do?
Use the soup to clean the sand off her face.
Okay. What some people have said, and sorry about this, I know it's gross, they've pictured cream of something soup, like cream of mushroom or cream of chicken, and they just pictured it just dripping right down her face, and maybe the sand is washing off. That's pretty gross. Other people have said, I picture these little cans